Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing? And welcome back to the channel. Today I am bringing you another Third Age Reforged video. This fight being between Joey One Kenobi, a good friend of mine playing as Isengard, and I'm not gonna try and say that name because it's just so long. You're just Bolsheviks now. Sorry that I couldn't say your name, it's just a bit too long. But yeah, he is playing as the Misty Mountains. The explanation for this battle, I can only assume, is Sauron has called the goblins of the Misty Mountains out of hiding to assault Saruman's force, which Sauron has been led to believe is, well, going to backstab him. So let's start by going through Joe's on-comp. He's the person who sent me this replay, and this is on Ultra Unit scale, I believe. Yeah, this is on Ultra Unit scale. He's brought the Champions of the White Hand, 2 hit point Light Cavalry, the Wargs. They have that extra HP anyway. So yeah, these guys definitely a worthwhile pick, but one on about 3 units of cavalry with trolls come in. I wouldn't necessarily say they're going to do the greatest. Then I can only assume this is like a misclick, or like this has to be a mistake because he's put his unit of Uruk-hai infantry out in the middle of nowhere. They can just get overwhelmed and overrun and annihilated fairly easily, I would actually say. But yeah, how many units of Uruk-hai infantry does he have? Three, that's 4. Is that another one? That's archers. Okay, it's gone for 4 units of Uruk-hai infantry. These guys, Isengard's basics, short and board infantry, not up to anything special, but they'll probably be able to outclass most of what the Misty Mountains can throw at them, excluding the Misty Mountains elite stuff, such as, and armor piercing stuff perhaps, just them sort of relying on that heavy armor that they wear. Then in tandem with their infantrymen, they have the Uruk-hai pikes. These guys, phalanxes, they'll just keep the enemy at bay while they prod them. And another important thing to remember is that Misty Mountains can't really deal with pikes very efficiently unless they brought their crossbows and archers and stuff. Which, it appears that they have done that. They've got at least 1 unit there. I think that's 2 units of their crossbows, so yeah. They do have stuff that can deal with pikes. However, the fact that Joe's brought 3 units of them means that if he can, like, lure the enemy's crossbows and archers and stuff away, they're not going to be able to deal with these 3 units of pikemen. And if they get friendly fire, then that's a completely different story, but they're definitely going to struggle to deal with these pikes. If the pikes can get into a good position, they're not going to go down quickly. 2 units of Uruk-hai berserkers, I believe. Yep. 1, 2. These guys just multiple hit point, very hard hitting infantry, but they have no armor. So if you shoot them, once you've whittled their 3 hit points, I want to say they have down, they're gonna drop like flies. Then for a bit of a javelin presence, he's brought units of sniper skirmishers. These guys just really quite cheap javelins. You'll be able to easily get the value you want off with them because you just need to get so few kills. Arguably it would be harder against Misty Mountains, but if they can get some javelins into their quality units, then they have more than paid for themselves. Then he's got 2 units of Uruk-hai archers, just not particularly good by archer standards, but they have relatively high numbers, they're somewhat cheap, and these guys should be able to hold their own in a bow fight. The crossbows, however, are a completely different story, and he has also got 2 of them. Yeah, he's got 2 units of the crossbows. They're going to have a massive quantity of stopping power, and because they're Isengard crossbows, they're going to be pretty good, because this is the main unit most Isengard players bring due to their relatively high quality as crossbows. Isengard Blister. If these guys can get some good kills early on, while the enemies are over here, they're fairly accurate and they can get a lot of kills off with each volley. Speaking of... Oh, of course it must be. Sorry about that. Yeah, these guys can easily get some good kills off. They've got some friendly fire already, you can see that. Not as high, basically berserkers from beforehand, but better, because they have that armor and they are slightly better defensively than those berserkers. Trolls the White Hand. These guys just trolls. If missed at the right time, they can be devastating. But if they're not, they can get killed off very easily. They're sort of a glass cannon of sorts, because if they get isolated, they can be very quickly dispatched and annihilated. Last but certainly not least, we have... Okay, the generals in the Mars Pie then. We have the Guards of Orthanc, Isengard's bodyguards here, spear unit. Just a very solid unit in general. Not the most killy of units, but they'll stay alive for a very long time. Which is why many people put their generals in this unit, because they're so damage handling. But let's move on to Bolshevik's Misty Mountains War. He's got 2 units of warg skirmishers. These guys mainly use their javelins, but because they're wargs, I believe they have 2 hit points. I believe they're 2 hit point cavalry, which makes them significantly better than other, like, low tier cavalry. However, they have pretty low stats in melee. So stuff like Champions of the White Hand will be fairly good at dealing with them. However, one thing the Champions of the White Hand will not be good at dealing with is the Bol's Champions. These guys, bodyguards here, knight unit, similar to the Champions of the White Hand, except I believe they're not armor piercing, but they have anti-large. But yeah, this is a very strong cavalry force, and if they can easily crush this unit here, and probably more. Again, incoming we have some cave trolls. I believe there's just 1 unit of cave trolls. Yeah, there's just 1 unit of cave trolls. These guys, very tight formation, but they have pretty low stats. Much lower than, they're much lower tier than the Trolls of the White Hand that we have seen before. He's got 2 units of Mountain Oak Coast. Basically, Misty Mountains, high tier sword and board infantry that isn't bodyguard tier. That's their best unit of those. Goblin King's bodyguard. Speak of the Devil, the Misty Mountains bodyguards here, sword and board unit, pretty solid, but there's nothing special about them other than the fact there's 84 of them in a unit, and Azog himself is in this unit. That's another unit of Mountain Oak Coast. Another thing to note is that the Misty Mountains will outnumber the forces of Isengard. And yep, sure enough, there's 2. Oh, is that 2 units? Yeah, surely. Yeah, that's 2 units of heavy goblin crossbows. These are probably the Misty Mountains' only answer, other than flanking round to deal with these Uruk-hai pikes. They are going to be outranged by stuff like the Uruk-hai archers, who will probably be targeting them down as much as they can. And heavy goblin halberds, an armor-piercing phalanx, but unfortunately they don't have the range, or quality for that matter, of the Uruk-hai pikemen. But still, they could be a formidable threat if used in the right situations, and they have numbers to back themselves up as well. So lots of halberds. A lot of halberds. Yeah, I feel like there's some hidden units around here. Then black Uruks of the mountains, 2-hand, Zweihanders, just pretty high quality for an orc faction. But yeah, without further ado, let us get into the battle. And sure enough, you can see the Isengard Ballista has already started trying this. My god, that was a good hit. That's another good hit. So already, the Orcs of Misty Mountains army is getting hammered. And Joey's moving up his Uruk-hai archers. Oh, sorry, wow. Well, that fight was over quickly. And now the cave trolls are just... are they? Nope, they're just a bit of a Mexican standoff. Not particularly wanting to go straight into the Uruk-hai infantry, just in case they do get bogged down. But I wouldn't be keeping your entire cavalry and like heavy infantry force over here. Just not do anything with it, like leave it to get shot. And this is a big no-no. Like, you're literally allowing yourself. Yeah, here's some heavy goblin spears. These guys have also been fried a fair bit. Yeah, at this point, you need to charge in. You can't play defensive when someone has artillery. Especially when they have an artillery as potent as the Isengard Ballista at their disposal. So already you can see, Joe's only lost 2%, 3%, but he's killed 11% of that Misty Mountains army. And that doesn't surprise me. Bolsheviks, he needs to move his force up. He needs to get his force into melee with him. Even if it's just a small portion of the line, he just needs to get his soldiers into melee. Both champions decided to charge into the Uruk-hai infantry, but were ultimately dispatched. And this Uruk-hai infantry unit has now been engaged in melee. And I mean, like, it's hard to say. I mean, I feel like they're gonna lose this. But if this cavalry gets killed off, then they can isolate the trolls. And like, yes, this unit may want to just get killed, but they're gonna have dealt with like 3 units of potentially quite dangerous units for the future. Yeah, you can already see these trolls are starting to drop. They don't have good enough support. I feel like Bolsheviks. Yeah, Bolsheviks needs to send up his entire army. Yeah, because otherwise, if he just stays back, Joey's going to be more than happy to continue just shooting away. Like, it won't go well for him. And the Bolsh champions, yeah, this is a good choice from Bolsheviks. Just get these guys into melee. I don't think the Bolsh champions will win this, but they'll probably do enough damage to render these guys, and with the trolls in as well. Oh, so no, they have. He probably wants to charge the wild skirmishers back in, or like keep these Uruk-hai infantry back. But yeah, you can see now the trolls have lost their support. They're dropping like fire. Even against the archers, these guys can probably lose. And with the bold champions finally being dealt with, not quite that way, but almost being dealt with once and for all. I have a feeling these trolls have a fairly low life expectancy. And all this could have been avoided if he just charged in his wild skirmishers, or like, at least given these guys some support. So at the moment, right, what he's doing is, what is he doing? It's a really weird battle. So it looks like the Isengard blister ran out of land. So Joey's decided to send it into melee with crossbows. I mean, that's not a half bad idea. Like, you'll get some kills and that'll lower the efficiency of these crossbows. Yeah, there's only 100 odd of them left. I wouldn't try and run through them. Just leave them in melee. Looks like he's sending his berserkers out as well. What is Joey doing? What are both of these guys doing? Why are you wasting your crossbow ammo on these? Why don't you just send your infantry? You can use the crossbows still, the enemy crossbows, stuff like these spears and halberds. Because these are sort of and these guys. Like, there are very few threatening units for me, if you're playing this. Wait, 60. Yeah, because I just feel like at this point, what are you doing? Just charge them in. Like, you were literally allowing these archers to get free damage off, right? If you charge them in, they can't get that damage off, and you're actually going to get some damage back on them in return. Also, he's turned the backs of his soldiers to the enemy. Which again, they're just going to get shot in the back and ripped to pieces. And yeah, they dealt with this flank really quite well, and that's going to allow Uruk-hai infantry to hit these heavy bombing halberds in the flank, and the archers are charged. Oh, good god. I don't think that either player, like, I've never seen the name this player in Reforged before, so I can only assume that he's a relatively new player to the Total War, well, at least Medieval 2. He's relatively new to Medieval 2. But Joey, both players have definitely done some questionable stuff. I mean, pushing through the pipeline, it's not a horrific idea. And indeed, yeah, Joe's sending up some berserker support to assist his beleaguered pikes. But I mean, like, if Joey's not careful, he could get overwhelmed and overrun. Indeed, these mountain outposts, why are they going all the way over here? There's so many of these units that just leaving out of the fight. Like, sending the guards of war, like, they would have been brilliant for dealing with that cavalry attack. Now, it looks like Joey's trying to chase the mountain outposts down with his smaller skirmishers. Is he trying to scout out this side of the battlefield because he suspects there's a unit here or something? bit confused about what either player's doing here. Getting his right-handers into melee, always a good shout. But again, I feel like he's just stretched his... Like Joey, he's trying to fight in a condensed space, right? But he, two Bolsheviks is like, he doesn't want to send everything in. At this point, you need to send all of your houses in. Because if you don't, they will just get picked off one by one. And you can see it here. Like, his units are literally just getting picked off one by one. Joey's just about holding here with his pikes. And in fairness, he has sent in arson crossbows in melee, which isn't arguably definitely not the best place for it, but at least the pikes have had support, which is far more, like, this is definitely Bolshevik's best chance of winning. If he just breaks this, like, at this point, I suspect he can't win, right? But he could certainly make it interesting if he just has, if he can deal with these guys, if he can deal with the isolated units, he's fine. But yeah, sure enough, I guess Joey, like, these from the war Bolsheviks is counter-opposed over here. I mean, like, it worked. Bolsheviks saw, he's isolated one of his units. I mean, if I was Joey, what I would be doing now is, these archers have ammo. Yeah, I'd be sending these archers over here and shooting these guys in the back. Yes, these guards war flankers will they'll definitely win this fight. There's no doubt about it. If you just shot them, even if it's just a volley of arrows into the back, you can kill like 20 and wound quite a few others. Yeah, it's just a few too many. Oh, yeah, this is what I suspected. He had a few hidden units like that. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see. Yeah, I'm not a fan of what Bolshevik's doing. He's got too many isolated units. Yeah, I feel like Bolsheviks is definitely like new to the Total War series, because he doesn't quite seem to understand how to like play one of these fights, if you know what I mean. Because he's trying to save his units, but in doing so, he is just letting his other units die. And as well as this, both players are definitely somewhat guilty of this, but spreading out too wide. Like, Bolsheviks has got a unit over here, a unit over there. He's got a unit over here. Like, his units can literally just get picked apart at this point. Joe's got his berserkers just cleaving through his halberds. And yes, the halberds are protected from one thing, right? They're not going to get flanked over here. Actually, yeah, they can definitely get flanked over here. But if he just moved this unit of halberds over here, right? These guys can protect their flank, these guys can protect their flank. Unless he gets pikes or trolls or something in there, very little is going to be able to break that down quickly. And while they're standing, they can dish out a lot of that. Right? He just needs them to survive. But, because he's left all of his units somewhat isolated, they are just going to get picked apart one by one. Another thing I'm relatively concerned about is where his general is. His general hasn't died. But where is it? Did he send it in over here? Yes, yes he did. And again, this is another example of isolated use. In fairness, he has put some trolls in there. But again, that's 3 snow trolls. They're gonna get killed off quickly. And sure enough, we saw one of them drop there. And there goes another, and there goes the last troll. Now this unit of Goblin King's bodyguards will just get picked up. And the trolls, they can just run around. He's got Joe Stiller's Nars Kai, 52 of them remaining. Like, at this point, there's no way this guy, Bolsheviks, can win, right? But he can at least make it. Yeah, there goes Mr. Mountain General. I have a feeling that the rest of Mr. Mountain's army will be following very shortly. One lone crossbowman desperately trying to fight his way through 123 heavy goblin halberds. Who will get the kill? That's the question. They've both decided to stop fighting. Oh, and the crossbowman has his friends. Cute. Yeah, I doubt the crossbows will win this, but they're getting kills. Like, they already killed 2 of them, and because they're hitting them on the flank, right? These guys are gonna get tired very quickly. And again, like, both players have been fairly slow to react to this last, I would say. So what Joey can do here is really quite simply, like, Urukai infantry, hit that, right? Like, these guys, they're going to beat your crossbows, but they're not going to be able to beat a flank, right? If you hit them from both sides, they're not going to deal with that well whatsoever. I feel like this replay may have desynced a little bit, because it seems a bit weird. Because why would Joey, unless, actually in fairness, this unit was probably chasing something. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird leaving the snarl skirmish and stuff back here. I mean, yeah, they're probably just about gonna beat these trolls. That's only because, again, like, they're not supporting any of their units well. Both of them. However, I feel like Joey has been supporting his units slightly better than Bolsheviks has. And again, that's what leads me to believe that Bolsheviks may be a newer player. I mean, both players have had relatively awful micro, I'd almost say. Because they have, and yeah, I have a feeling that, yeah, this replay is definitely better. Unless one of them, like, admits defeat, I have a feeling we're not going to be able to see the kill. Yeah, we're not seeing the kill now, so about this battle, yeah, I would actually say that, like, neither player covered themselves in glory with this. Their micro wasn't super good, but I will partially leave that down to the fact that I do believe that this replay has, like, desynced or gone a bit funny. So I feel like in the actual fight this must have been quite a bit closer. I feel like Bolsheviks and Nicky, Joey would probably have, like, played it better. But going off what I what I've seen. I do believe Bolsheviks is a newer player, and that's why, like, with experience will come the realization that you need to, if you're sending one unit in at a time, that one unit is going to die. You need to be sending in 2 units so that each of them can support each other. And I feel like, again, like, definitely neither player cut themselves in glory for this, right? But I feel like Joey deserved to come out on top. Purely because he was just slightly better at the micro than Bolsheviks was. Like, neither player was particularly good, but Joey, I feel like, just got the upper hand because Bolsheviks was leaving his units to get shot. He didn't have a cohesive assault. He was peeling units away to deal with Joey's unit of Guards of Warthank. And a unit of Mount Syracuse is not going to deal with these guys particularly well because of the Guards of Warthank defensive stats and the fact that they probably just massively outclassed them in melee. However, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a dislike. Feel free to leave a dislike if you didn't. Subscribe if you're new around here. Join the Discord server. I'll literally link to it in the comments. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.